Hello everybody. Hopefully by now I've done a really lovely intro. Hi there. Editing Joe here. I indeed did not record an intro. So this is it. My name's Joe. I'm Belushi Stitches here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. This is my channel about cross stitch. This particular video is starting off a series called the Chatelaine Chronicles, and in this particular series will be the chatelaine design called Versailles. If you're interested in something similar, I have done a previous series of the Chatelaine Chronicles showing Evening in the Park. You should see that in my videos list, or there is a dedicated playlist as well if you have a check out on my channel. So I do want to just give a shout out to Lorna, Stitching Farmer. As soon as I saw that she had stitched this one on her Flosstube, and I will link her below in the description box, I just knew I had to do it. So yes, Elena, thank you very much. Expert level enablement there. And I also just want to quickly thank anyone who has watched my previous chatelaine videos. I thoroughly enjoy putting these together, and really it's a way to record this for myself, and then if it's helpful to anyone, then perfect. I'm glad. So in this video, it's going to be me talking a little bit about the pattern, and there's a Facebook group which is very helpful called the Chatelaine Facebook support group, and then I'm doing an unboxing of the supplies and just showing you my kind of floss storage and then bead storage and some fabric, how I've sort of set up my fabric ready. It's a bit of a mishmash, but it's all basically the setup and the prep before actual stitching. I've decided at the time of recording, at the time of editing this one, I had 4 hours of footage relating to this kind of setup and prep, and then also the centerpiece. So I decided to split that out. So there won't be any stitching in this video. This is purely stitch admin. So but if I'm honest, I really enjoy watching other people's admin, and I really enjoy doing it myself. Okay, so I think that's it. I'll probably think of other things. But yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and stay tuned for future non-chatelaine related floss tubes, but then also the next piece for this particular series. If you do have any questions or comments, please add them in the comments below, or again, find me as Belushi Stitches on Instagram. And I would just like to caveat that I'll say things in here like, what I plan to do is this, and then I do something different, or I think that's the way I'm going to approach this bit, or this is the way I'm going to set this up. And very much, as you will see, this is a learning experience for me. I'm by no means an expert. I'm not pretending to know what I'm doing. I am very much making decisions and changing what I need to do as and when it comes along. So from this, I've already changed some things. But again, this was as I was and my thinking about certain things at the time. So yeah, I will just caveat with I have changed some of my approaches, but you will see that in future floss tubes if you decide to watch them. Right, I really am going now. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall now continue. Bye. Hello there. So what I've done is I printed out the design on a piece of paper, and this is on the website. So all these lines, ignore all these lines, they're my lines. It doesn't come with this nonsense up here. This is me doing this. But this is a printout of the piece, which is on the it's the kind of model, it's not the model stitch, what do you call it? The mock-up. It's the mock-up. This is the design, and unlike Evening in the Park, it doesn't come, this is one of the last ones that was ever designed by Martina before she passed away. So there weren't actual sort of instructions, a full set of instructions. And secondly, but not really related, this is not this doesn't come in parts. Evening in the Park was created as, I think, as a workshop, as a class, like a course, and so it's in parts. This one isn't. This is just the full design. So the PDF, there's one PDF where it's the whole thing, where you can zoom in, but not quite as much as I would like, and then there's a second PDF where it's in 4 quarters. So if you wanted to stitch this centre mandala first, which I do, you would have to look at 4 different pages on a PDF because it's split right down the middle. So what I intend to do, I'm skipping ahead, but I'm just going to say it anyway. What I intend to do is use the close-up one of the corner that I can zoom in a lot more to just, you know, pick a thread, and then go back to the complete one, because once I know what the symbol is, you can read the symbols on it completely, so it's fine. And then I'll just follow the design with the whole thing on it. I'll see how I go. I think for something like this will be on one page of a design, so this will be much more sensible and easier to do, because you'll be able to use the zoomed in page for this section. But for something like the center here, or anything along the lines of where the two pages would meet, it's going to be a bit tricky, but I'm going to work it through. It's going to be fine. So what I thought was a sensible option was to work out where to start, what to do first. I have gone with the instructions. So I know I said a minute ago there weren't instructions, and there weren't official ones, but a number of people in the Chatelaine support group on Facebook kind of worked through the design and have created some absolutely incredible instruction. I do have to thank Serena from Hawkins Hobbies. I struggled for like a year to find the file in the Facebook group, and contacted a number of people who seemed to have stitched this one, and they just didn't have the file. But Serena had a copy of the file, and I don't know whether she added to it or she worked on it originally, or it's a brand new file and she created them. I don't know, but she contacted Ella from Chatelaine, and I'd already contacted Ella and said if I can track it down, is it something that you might be able to. Well, I asked her if she had it, but she didn't. And then I said, oh, if we can get it, is it something that could be made available to other people who have bought it? And so now I believe that if you buy Versailles now, or if you've previously bought it, you can log into your account, and where your kind of materials usage file is, there's a file that says instructions for this one. So I now have that instruction file, which I'm delighted about. So the instruction file actually is broken down into parts, and I thought maybe that would be a semi-sensible way of doing things, but I wanted to make sure. So a couple of weeks ago I sat with this mock-up, I sat with the instructions, and I sat with the pattern on PDF on my Kindle. So on Xodo or Zodo, XODO, it's a PDF reader, and you can annotate, so you can highlight things when you've done things, when you've mark off stitches and stuff. And I sat there, and the instructions kind of said centre motif. I can't remember the order exactly now, but it's kind of these two are the same. The fan gardens, I remember these names. This is similar to this, but they've got slightly different motifs in the middle here. And then I think that is a section. That's a section. These are all different. That's a section. That's a section. Because I've drawn pencil marks. Sorry for my massive hand, my massive fingers. I've drawn pencil marks all the way around what I believe are the sections. And so it makes sense to me to follow the instructions. So I intend to do all the cross stitch first, whether that be DMC or a fancy floss or a metallic. I just intend to stitch whatever comes first. Then specialty stitches, and then there's back stitch, and I think a lot of the back stitch comes after everything else is done, and then beads. And I do intend to do the beading as I go. I've ordered some metre long felt, because this is a metre long. It's absolutely ginormous in comparison to anything I've ever done before. So, well, not Heaven and Earth design. I mean, like on a scroll frame. I've never used scroll frames of this magnitude before. It's all a learning experience. It's all a learning experience. Yeah, so I do intend to do the beading as I go. I think what I enjoyed about Evening in the Park, even though you're repeating stuff, so say for instance these trees down here and the trees up here, even though I'm going to be repeating them, I think it's quite good when you've sort of got that bit of pattern in your head, or those colours, and you sort of get a bit of pattern recognition sometimes. So I think what I will do is when I get to this bit, I'll do this bit on all 4 sections and work it through. I don't know, I'm going to see what happens. There's no right or wrong way. People stitch these very differently. I've seen people on Flosstube on YouTube who have just stitched like the middle section. I've seen people who've just stitched like a page. I've seen people who start in the centre and move out. You know, it's all, and I've seen somebody else start top left. It's all completely up to you. So the centre is along here. Yeah, there's a lot of specialty stitches. And then yeah, these bits down here are part of this centre. So I'm gonna do this, I think. I thought I would do a really it will be a bit of a swift unboxing, just to show you what comes in the pack for Versailles. And the reason it's swift is because I really want to start it. And I have to use, I want to use floss away bags to put all of these individual sort of threads in. And so in order to sort of have time to write these up, I wanted to go through this bag with you first. So I will move those to one side. So this is how it comes from European Cross Stitch. This is much bigger and much heavier, and therefore a much higher customs price than the one I received for Evening in the Park. Worth every penny. Right, I'm gonna undo this and undo this. Okay, so it's now been released. The beads are separate, so I can take those out. Appreciate there's glare, apologies. They're just stunning. They are just stunning. Yeah, I've got some of these. Is it Tyler? That's how I'm pronouncing it. If that's not quite right, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, and then I've got all these delicate beads. It's just beautiful colours. Yeah, I think these are, yeah, gold and crystal silk. And then I've got some interesting stuff at the top. Well, they're all interesting, you know what I meant. I meant different. Bicones in, whoa, sorry, that's shiny. Bicones in here. And then can you see the flower there, the crystal flower? If I put my, it's a bit better there. That's the back of it. So I'll just turn this over in a second. No, hang on. There we go. Focus. Yeah, and then some more of these flat beads. Hang on, I'll just turn it over. So now I can show you the full. Oh, there's a lot in there. Now there's a lot of different colours as well. What was I going to show you? Oh yeah, the flower. Hang on, flower crystal. Hang on. Somehow I just seem to be able to just show you the back of it every single time. I think you can just about see it there. And that goes right in the middle of the mandala, which I'm going to leave till the end because it's, I think, probably one of the tallest things that will go in there. Right, let me pause again and move this all away. And I would say as well, had I received this in the post without having done beading before, I would probably be quite concerned about what to do with all this. But having done Evening in the Park and just learning one bit at a time, and having done a mill hill, I've only done one mill hill with beads, which was the pizza slice. Having done that with where it tells you quite clearly, like, do a full cross and pick up a bead on the way, or do a half cross and pick up a bead, which means that your bead is at a slightly different angle. Because I've done those two things, I'm not worried or concerned about these now. I'm concerned about the fact that there's so many of them, but not, you know, I'll work it out. And I think that's part of I think it's almost, I mean, is it? It's almost part of the enjoyment of it, is putting something on and then going, oh no, wait, that's not quite right. Turning it around and going, yeah, that's the way. So I feel like if something like this is stopping you from picking up a chatelaine or anything with beads, I would try not to be too concerned. There's plenty of people out here that can help. Loads of tutorials on YouTube, and they are just stunning. But again, it's preference, isn't it? Like, I quite like backstitch. A lot of people really don't like backstitch. I quite like beading, and a lot of people probably don't like beading. So you've got to find your own groove, I guess, haven't you? I've no idea what to do with these. No idea. Or the crystal, but I think with the crystal you come up through the middle of it, and then I think you put you pick one of these beads that is kind of a similar colour to place on top of it, and then you go back down through the crystal, and then that's how you attach it, because otherwise you would have thread going over kind of the edge of the crystal, and even though it's invisible thread, it's not that invisible. Anyway, I've just spent 6 minutes talking about a pack of beads, so I'm going to stop now and move on to the next bit. And just by way of a distraction, thought I'd show you my cat. He was chilling out after a very, very busy morning, waking me up 2 hours before my alarm. For food, which was downstairs, which she then ate and carried on waking me up anyway. Hi. Okay, so the next bit, or rather everything else in the bag, comes on this one book ring. That's what I call them. And then everything, I mean, it's really quite heavy. Everything else comes attached on here. It's very heavy. So what I will end up doing, so I'll just show you what's on here, then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So I've been through this. As soon as I received this pack, I did undo it, and I went through every single thing, and I went through, was it this one? Yeah. So I'm just going to move a minute. This is the, sorry for my finger there, I got it caught in a microphone stand. This is the materials list. I'm not showing you anything that you can't already see. This is on the website, which you can download for free without having to buy the pattern. First of all, I'll just elephant in the room. That is a list of 44 DMCs. Interestingly, in Evening in the Park, there were no DMCs. So the floss list for this one is much more, but it is a much bigger piece than Evening in the Park. And from looking at the pattern, not a huge amount of block stitching, whereas in Evening in the Park there were quite a few places where there was sort of big chunky stitching of the same colour. So I was quite shocked to see, I don't know if shocked's the right word, surprised to see just how many DMCs. However, when you actually look at how much you need, let me get this. So for instance here, I don't know which one because I can't see, it's on a funny angle, but you need 0.07 of a skein, and you need 0.04, 0.09, 0.08, tiny amounts, absolutely tiny amounts. And the only one that's over 1 is 310, black 310, which is 1.13 skeins. So I have got a master set of DMC. So I think what I intend to do is when I stitch this, I haven't actually decided yet. hang on. Oh, that's okay. The cat got stuck on the carpet. She freed herself. I'll either go into my stash and see if I've already got it in there, or what I might do is just work off of my master stash, which I know isn't really the point of a master stash. It's to sort of have a backup, but it's just sat there and I don't need very much of it. So I think what I'll do is bring my 6 boxes of bobbins down and use them to stitch, or use them for the DMC here. I really don't want to go and get... I just got to let my cat in the cupboard a minute. Hang on. Okay, I'm not entirely sure where I was, but I think I was saying I don't want to go and spend time kitting up 44 floss rings, floss drops with little bits on. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have to work from my stash. And just to say again, although I probably haven't, I may or may not have already said it, chatelaines can be stitched all in DMC. So they are charted and designed with sort of fancy floss, these sort of silks and other specialty threads, but they can be stitched with DMC on their own. And if you are on Facebook and you are part of the and if you're not, then you join. It's the Chatelaine support group on Facebook, and on there are people who have stitched everything just in DMC, and they look absolutely stunning. Some people have some people have stitched DMC threads as well where the beads are, so they've matched the DMC, they've matched the bead colour to a DMC, and then they've stitched that. And it's just stunning. The designs are stunning. The designs work for themselves. So just a reminder that you can stitch in DMC if there are restraints to you going for all the called for stuff. Okay, so where was I? Yes, so this is the floss list. Oh yeah, that's it. So I went through every single thread and card in here as soon as I bought it, and I just highlighted, and interestingly this is a completely different green. That just goes to show the difference in colours on screen versus real life. Completely different green. Yeah, and I just highlighted here which one I'd received, and I think I've got them all in here now. Yeah, and where I bought them from. So you can buy on the Chatelaine website. No, on the European Cross Stitch website, you can buy the pattern, the bead pack, the thread pack, the MPI silks, and you can buy the Glorianas. Or you can buy the whole thing. But the Glorianas have a huge sort of delay on getting to some of the shops across the world, around the world. So I chose to kit up the Glorianas myself. And I mean, when we get there, there's 9 of them. So there's a lot fewer than, I think, Evening in the Park. I think that seems like less. Can't remember. You can see here, that's, I'll go through them because they're not on this. They're not in here. They're the ones I've bought separately. The Glorianas are off to the side. That's West End Embroidery. And that is 123 Stitch. Deep Blue Sea, which was my last outstanding thread, has now arrived. That's good. So, yes, what I've got... Yeah, when I went through it, see, I've helped myself out here a lot. And I didn't realise how helpful I would be to myself until this very moment. But what I've got here, let's say, for instance, these Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braids, and I've done the same here for the Silk Lame. I've got these 4 in one bag, and I've put a little pencil bracket around it. And then I've got these 5 in a different bag. So it means when I get my, when I work through my floss away bags and start writing them all individually, because I think when I worked on Evening in the Park, I think I left them all. I can't really remember, but I suspect, I mean, that was just a massive, learning curve of what worked best for me. But I suspect I probably left all these, I would have left these in the bag, and then I would have used one at a time. And then, you know, you always end up with like a length that's spare that needs to go back on the board or back on the skein or whatever. And then I think it probably was getting a bit messy, or they were all smushed in together, so I decided to separate them out, and that made more sense to me. So I think what I'll probably do, what I will definitely do, is now I know that those 4 are in a bag, I will set up a floss away bag for the first 3, and then the bag that they're already in I will mark up as dark gold or light antique gold. It's a different name now. So I'll use the ones that they come in as one of the floss away bags. So yeah, and then I've ordered some more book rings because I don't have very many, but then that's where you could put this and this all on one ring. So I'll probably end up with like 3 different book rings. I think did I have 2? Yeah, I had 2 for Evening in the Park. And I put like, I don't know, Karen Water Lilies and MPI silks together, and then on the other one I had Silken Colours and Gloriana or something, some mixture of that. So I'll probably do the same again. That made sense and that worked for me. And it definitely for me makes sense having them all separated out. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. One thing I would quite like are kind of dividers, which I might just make out of cardboard and just put a hole in them, just to say just to say what threads are in like the book ring. Because what I did miss was being able to just see exactly which kind of brand I needed. I found myself picking it up and going, oh no, that's Gloriana, I need MPI, and then putting them down and picking up another book ring and searching through it. So I think I might try and make some sort of, I don't know, yeah, sort of dividers just out of a bit of cardboard. Maybe colour code them or something. I don't know, I'll have a think about it. Anyway, the whole point of this was just to say that I've been through the box. I've been through all of the threads and I've ticked them off, and they're all absolutely spot on as expected, but it's never a bad thing just to double check that you've got what you think you've got, just in case. So back to it. Oops. Okay, I'm not going to go through them sort of one at a time and say what's in here and stuff. I'm just going to show you what's in here roughly. So these are some petite treasure braid. These have numbers down here, and what I decided would be really helpful for me is I wrote down the name, and this one's different. It would just normally say like dark gold, dark gold, but this one actually has changed names now. So it was dark gold, now it's light antique gold. So I've just put them both on with a little arrow just to show that's the one. And there's a number 2 here, and that just means I've got 2 cards of the same. So at any one time I can just pick it up and go, oh no, wait, I've already got a card one, I can start that. But what I will do is have each of these 4 colours, what is there, 1, 2, 3, 4 colours or whatever, in individual bags, because then you can just write on the label here. So on here it says colour and then a hash for the number, but on this top line I write which brand. So I will write PTB, so Petite Treasure Braid, and then in this bit here, which is, you can't really, oh there you go, you can sort of see there, that bit's the white bit here, I will write there the name or the colour depending on what is on my key. So this says, yeah, so this is the LeMay thread, and it just says a number. So I will probably write the number on here, probably the name as well, just because why not. Okay, so I'll move on to this little pack. Oh, look at the colour. Wait, let me turn it over. Look at the blue, isn't it beautiful? Wait till you see it properly. It's just stunning. They're all just stunning. That's the treasure braid. This is the LeMay stuff. So again, some really beautiful colours. And you can't really see that that's different. If I put these 2 together, can you tell that they're different? No, I've not used this before, so that'll be fun. I've got some more here, some more colours, blues and purples. Blue sapphire 1, which means there's a 2 or a 3. Oh wait, I've twisted it. There you go. And another one. Another one. That's a nice colour. That is green, yeah. And some purple stuff. So that's that. Hang on. Oh no, it's okay. I got twisted there. Okay, so next on the card is some Karen water lilies. And I think these are in individual bags actually, on reflection. So what I will do is, again, write on the front of these labels, of these bags. It's not a label, it's printed on. I will write, what is this? Karen, well, I've got some. I've got water lilies. And I think I've got water something else, water flowers, on this label, on this sticker. I will write WL for water lilies, and then I'll write on this bottom section 209 iris. So yeah, I think actually these might all be in individual bags. Oh, look at them. They're beautiful. They really are shiny. They're beautiful colours. Look how random the variegation is in there. And that one. Still on the water lilies, yeah. Oh, hang on. I threw one away there. This one. Look at that. Stunning. Yeah, so this is... What is this? This is... Wildflower. Oh, wildflowers. So Karen, wildflowers, not waterflowers. Wildflowers. So water lilies, wildflowers. And this is bark. And look, isn't it amazing? I think, and it's all in the instructions. They're all still there. I think I only use one strand of this. I might be making that up. We'll find out. It looks very similar to the Princess Pearl Petite that I used in Evening in the Park. That kind of one sort of strand view of it. But we'll find out. Yeah. Oh, I forgot actually how many of these are in individual bags. So it's great. So all I need to do is just write on the label for most of these. Split out those treasure braids. I might actually have enough floss away bags after just ordering some more. Anyway, well, no, I need them for the Glorianas. Right, moving on. So we're on to some dinky dies. And, oh, that was a dinky die. Sorry, I went ahead a little bit fast. And then, more dinky dies. Oh, look. So this is a silk pearl. So this is very, you can see the difference between, let me just bring this one back. You can see the difference between a normal silk and then the pearl up here. Amazing. And then, what's this one stuck at the back? Who are you? Hang on. Oh, silk. Oh, so thread gatherer, silken colours. Hang on. It's a lovely colour. It's very dark green. Is it blue in real life? Or is that just the light reflecting? No, it's very dark green and very murky. I don't think in real life it's not this blue, this light blue bit here isn't really there. It's much, much darker than that in real life. So that's everything on the cards. So excellent news means that, oh, hang on, I've made a mess. Okay, so the excellent news of that is that I actually don't need many floss away bags. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy myself going through these and labelling them and splitting out these so that they've all got one individual. There's a lot of them. So there's individual ones. Right, so now I'm just going to take this out of the way and just show you the Glorianas that I've got. And then that's all the threads. So it won't be a second. Okay, so I ordered 4 of the Gloriana silks from West End Embroidery. They arrived very quickly. That's a UK shop. This is looking more blue. This is actually very greeny teal, not blue teal. Cameras really struggle with correct colours. It's fascinating, but also incredibly frustrating. This is stunning. So what's this one called? Highland Garden Dark, and it's this beautiful browny yellowy colour, and there really are blues, greens, purples, a kind of purpley pinky purple there. It's beautiful. I mean, that is a bizarre colour and absolutely beautiful. And then we've got a slightly lighter one. Again, that is lighter in real life. That's not as dark. None of this. This one's pretty good. Weird, isn't it? Yeah, so I ordered these. That's from the UK. They came really quickly from West End Embroidery, so thank you for those. Okay, and then next up were 2 that I ordered from, that's called Forest. That's quite similar to the Highland Garden Dark, but this is it's quite greeny grey. Sort of bluey green. Anyway, yeah, purple thread. So I ordered these 2 from 123 Stitch in the USA. I wouldn't normally do that, but I wouldn't normally just, they can't travel alone, so I did add a few more things into the order, but I wouldn't normally have sort of gone for that on any project other than a chatelaine. I think because there weren't that many Glorianas needed, I was prepared to sort of and in a position to order them from elsewhere. So I ordered these 2 from 123 Stitch. Shipping to the UK is actually really, really reasonable. It's excellent from 123 Stitch. So if you need things from over there, that's a good way of getting them across. So I ordered these 2. And then, as I said, it was this deep blue sea, where is it, up here, 017, which is the only Gloriana here that I needed more of. But I would just say to bear in mind, my skeins have come in 6 yards of 12 strands, and this is in 8 metres of 6 strands, or 6 strands of 8 metres skein. So, it requires just a little bit of working out. So I guess for any of these that you buy individually on your own that don't come in a pack, just be careful. Yeah, so like this one. So the Thread Gatherer Silk and Colours, that's a skein of 5 yards of 12 strands. But these Glorianas come on this pattern of 8 metres of 6 strands. But when they actually arrive, they're also 6 yards of 12 strands. So I find it very confusing. Anyway, so I couldn't find this one anywhere. I could. That's not true. I could find it in a few places. Most shops, 90% of the shops that I found across the globe were sold out of this. And there's no equivalent. Where is it? So over here. Here it says NA, so not applicable, as in the substitute isn't applicable, like there isn't a proper one, but the nearest one is 3808. That will be DMC. So some of them say, for instance, Wild Honey, Dinky Dyes, 164. If you don't get 164, then you can use 3855 as a substitute. I couldn't find this one anywhere. It's in on the pattern there are bows in each of the corner of the mandala, so but they're quite big, so I did want to see the variegation. I would have happily used 3808 if it wasn't, if it was a tiny bit of stitching, but actually in the centerpiece where I'm going to start, there's quite a lot where this colour is used. So I decided I really didn't want to start it without having this colour. If I didn't have this, I would have, and it wasn't used in the middle, if it was just used in like the next part or the next part after that, I would have happily started it. But I just really wanted to make sure I had what I needed, because this is used right in the centre and it's not a small amount either. So while I would have been happy to use 3808, I decided not to, because I needed it for a bigger chunk of the design later on. So I thought, well, I might as well just push the boat out at this point and get it. So I found it was available on Black Cat Stitchery in the US. So I was able to order these from Black Cat Stitchery, which I'm just going to pop on here because they also sent me a pen. They had 3 skeins originally available, and I needed more than that, and they weren't all in the same dye lot. So they very kindly put in an order from Gloriana, and they came through. And then we did have a bit of a tricky time with the website. Relating probably to the fact that I'm in the UK and the shop's in the US. So Erica, if you ever see this, thank you very much for your time and patience. We got there in the end, and with a bit of trial and error, patience and IT magic in the background, we managed to get my billing and shipping address working. So they very kindly sent me the Gloriana and this very lovely pen. So the Gloriana is here. Absolutely stunning. I will say, however, that there is no blue in any of this with my eyes. With my naked eyeballs, there's no blue here. It's all light green, teal green. It's not even dark green. It is nothing like the blue on the camera. So I'm just going to try now and get a picture of it with my Kindle showing this and my computer screen at the same time. Just my phone screen, see if it works. Hang on. Okay, so what I've managed to do, you can see my hand here, is that this is my Kindle, and this is the blue that I just showed you on my phone camera a second ago. But from far away, when you put them next to each other, this is the colour, the actual colour of this on my phone. So I'm managing to get it, but a second ago it was blue. But it's not blue, it's teal. So if I take this away and bring it back in, it kind of reverts to blue. If you take it really far out, put something in the way, it kind of brightens up. See? Really, really strange. Anyway, that's the correct colour, this tealy green colour, not this blue stuff. Okay, we made it. Oh yeah, excuse the tea towel here. I've got my chatelaine supplies in this kind of clear heavy duty box, and because it's all so incredibly heavy, I've put it on a tea towel so it doesn't even mark in my leather sofa. Anyway, so I have now shown you what's in here, and then I've also shown you what the 3 packs of Glorianas that I bought separately, and then not forgetting the beautiful bead pack. So the next time you see this, I will hopefully be starting. I've got to try and wrangle my fabric onto my 40-inch scroll frame, and it's different. This one is one that I have to sort of stitch onto the actual rods. It's got fabric instead of clips. I might use, I mean, I've got clips on my other scroll frame, so I might just use those and see if we get on. But I don't know. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing some sort of stitching business, stitching it all on. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hello everyone. So I'm doing stitching admin today for this chatelaine project, and I'm just writing on all the floss away bags. So this is a Karen collection wildflowers. So on this little bag here, I'll just put wildflowers, and then I always put the number. So what's this number? 067, and then just checking I'm spelling it right. I always put the name here, And then, yeah, it goes into a little floss ring. Have I got others here? Hang on a second. Yeah, so I've done the same for, I've done the same for all the water lilies. So I've put WL and then the number and then the name. So I've done all of these. And yeah, I've got 4 of these wildflowers, which now it's out of the packet, you can see it's very different to a normal stranded silk. Oh, it's cute. Yeah, I'm nearly finished with all of this labelling, which I thoroughly enjoy. See you in a second. Okay, so I just thought I would show you what I've been doing for the last 4 hours. If there's a lot of background noise, it's traffic, an aeroplane, and some really loud birds. So I bought a 40-inch scroll frame, and that's like a metre long, 100 odd centimetres. And then I also bought the same width fabric because I wanted to make sure my stitched piece is 70 centimetres and a metre long leaves 30 centimetres, which leaves 15 centimetres of spare fabric both sides, which is plenty for a border, but I wanted to make sure I had a good amount of space. Anyway, it's 140 centimetres long, so I've put it fabric lengthwise this way, so that I can scroll up and have plenty of space and not be in any way sort of having to stitch near this bar. So I've left it as 100 centimetres, the fabric, I've left this fabric as 100 centimetres across and 140 centimetres up and down. Oh, magpies are out. So I've just spent, what time did I, yeah, like 3 hours really. I've done the top, this is the bottom row, and this scroll frame comes with this webbing already attached. I found the middle. This is all from YouTube. I've not done this myself. I found the middle. I've done it myself, but I didn't plan it myself because I didn't know what I was doing. So this webbing, I marked it halfway, so that's 50.5 centimeters across, and then it's stapled to the wood. And then I found my fabric, and I found the middle with cat hair, and you can see here it was lined up almost perfectly. I drew a little line here and there, so it's, I don't know, let me see, hang on, yeah, it's probably like 2 millimeters out, so I'm hoping that'll be fine. Anyway, so I've just turned it. Now one of the neighbour's dogs is barking. Not my next door neighbour, it's a neighbour a couple of houses down. You don't need to know that. More cat hair. I mean, I haven't even done anything on it. Right, so I've just found a really, really long piece of thread and put a knot in it, and I've worked from the middle out to the left, and then I've worked from the middle out to the right, because somebody did that on YouTube and said that was a really good idea. So I've just done this running stitch, or basting stitch, I guess. And then at the end, I've gone to the end, and then I've come back on myself. Now someone's speeding up the road. So, yeah, that's now done. I'm now, oh yeah, so I'll just move you to the top. Oh yeah, in the middle, I know what some of you are thinking. Has she found the middle? Yes, I have. I already did that. I found the middle of the fabric and put a pin in it so that I can find it really quickly in a minute. The other thing I've done is this is the top section up here, and I've already attached it, and my massive hands, I've already attached it and rolled it, so it's loose. There's no, it's not tight, or there's no tension in it. It's all very loose at the moment. So I'm just going to scroll the bottom up to try and get, and then sort of work my way to get this in the middle. I also don't have ends on it yet, so I'm just going to do this. That's all my prep. So I don't actually have a rod on it yet, so I'm going to put that on. Yeah, and I'm just going to see how I get on. See if I can get myself ready. Okay, see you in a minute. Hi everyone. So I got up this morning and I thought, oh, I'll I'll just do a little bit of beading. And then I got down the rabbit hole of bead storage. So yeah, it's been like 2 hours and I haven't finished yet, because I've been trying to work out the best possible way to put all my stuff together, and it has been proving difficult. So I think I've settled. There are a lot more beads in this one than there were in Evening in the Park. In Evening in the Park there were 9, and I used this kind of tacky bob or tacky bill. It's kind of like a CD case, and when you open it, it's sticky both sides. So I just put mine in order. So I just had 1, 2, 3. Oh dear, my hand's not in sync with my camera. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I was able to just if it was number 7, I knew to go to position 7 in here, and it was fine. So I could do the same thing in here, and I've seen a number of people do that, put them in here and then kind of put little labels. This is really weird, I'm gonna have to look at my actual hand, not through the camera. Put them in here and then put little labels above each one. So I think there's plenty of space if I did that on both sides here for all of the beads. But I don't know yet what I want to do really. So what I've done so far, I'll probably use that. I'm also aware that while I use this for short term, Evening in the Park it took me 5 months. There's some of this glue does actually stick to the beads on some of them that were left on there for longer. So I wouldn't be doing this. I've got a plan for this though, and I'll come back to that in a minute. So there are a number of delicate beads, and I've put, this is very work in progress. This is not going to stay like this because this is not very sensible. Here are all the delicate seed beads, and I've put a little label on the top of each one just to be able to see it from the top. They are labelled on the side, but from European cross stitch, but I wanted them on the top. So I've done that in this little pot, and I've wedged paper around it to keep them upright. I've tried all sorts of things. I've looked at online, I've looked at kind of test tube racks that they use in laboratories. I've checked those. I've used those sort of big plastic floss organisers like that you get really cheaply from online online stores, to see if these fit through the holes of the floss drops, and they didn't, not the ones I've got. So I've gone with this. It's a bit discoloured from use over time, but it is clean, and it's from the kitchen. So I've done that with those. I've got 2 tubes now of other beads all mixed in here. There's like 4 or 5 in each one. And I need to find a way of splitting these up. So what I've done is I've got this little unit. It's got, how many has it got? 1, 2, 3. So it came with 7 of these. They all kind of fit in like that. I don't know what I've done with one of them. One's missing, so there's only 6. So I've labelled them all up, and I'm going to use these. I'm going to split them all up now using, yeah, and they're all named. So I'm going to split them all up now and put them all in these little individual packs. I think what I might do with this is, in the centre motif of Versailles, I've got this sort of ring of white beads, which I'm going to do. And then there's kind of 4 beads that go off in outside all the way around the centre, like this. So what I might do is actually position the beads on here in the position that they are in the centrepiece, and then use this, like I would have already gotten them out, and they'll be in the right position. So I might do that. What I'm trying to work out is how to get each of these beads, like when I have to stitch these flowers, where are they? Hang on, I'll find one. When I have to stitch these flowers, I need to switch from one colour to the next, to the next, to the next. And I'm trying to work out, it's going to be a nightmare if they're all in these tubes and I need 4 different colours for this leaf, for example. So I'm trying to work out what I can do using this and the beads at the same time. This is very different from Evening in the Park, so I'm going to have to think this through in a different way. I will come back to you. Okay, so I thought I'd show you while I'm sorting these out. Here is the flower bead that's going to go in the middle, but we won't see this until right at the end. So I thought I'd best show it now because it's going away in a pot for a really long time. Absolutely beautiful. Even the back's really pretty. Hang on. Cute. So let's just flip it back over. Apologies for the fluff on here. Interestingly, I can't really see this fluff by the naked eye, but this camera really does a good job. And then yeah, here are all these other really lovely crystals I'm just sorting now. So, but yes, this is the flower, and this is absolutely stunning, and we will be seeing it in a really long time. Bye. Also, just to show you these, I've never used these types of beads before. Tyler beads. Is that how you pronounce it? Oops. And 3 different types in here. There's this grey type, clear blue type, and then this solid turquoisey type. And I've got another packet to sort in a minute. Which are these gold and clear ones? Oh, and maybe, I don't know. I don't know how many are in there. How many different types are in there, not sure. But yeah, these are exciting. They remind me, these ones sort of remind, where am I? These ones sort of remind me of some sort of Lego I had as a kid, or building block stuff that I had as a kid that were clear and would kind of join onto stuff. Yeah, I like it. That won't be till tomorrow though. So, yeah, thank you for watching the supplies opening. If I end up with this being the end of this video, then thank you very much for watching, and I will see you at the start video. Okay, bye. I wouldn't have it any other way, would I? I might not put that in, but I also might. Cats are weird.